That's about all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to withhold judgment until we see. Now, hey, don't get me wrong. Under this president and the last president, by the way, our police forces have been given unconstitutional authority. They are becoming militarized with military-grade weapons, and some of them are out of control. Now, that being said, I'm going to withhold judgment on this. If the officers repeatedly shot him while he had his hands in the air, then the officer should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. If that, however, isn't the case and the guy attacked him, I don't care what kind of a record he had or didn't have. I don't care what college he was off to. I don't care about any of it. If he attacked the officer and the officer was defending himself, then, okay, it's a done deal. But I'm going to wait for the facts. I'm going to hold off on what the witnesses who are smashing out, windows and stealing tennis shoes say. Just saying. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. Let's see here. Quickly running out of time. Bebop around here. And see what we got going here. I'm trying to see if I had any more stories in the stack I wanted to do. More Iraq stuff. I think we've covered that pretty well. Oh, here's a little lighter note. Little montage of Chris Matthews from MSNBC. Remember when their mantra was lean forward? This is a little spoof on them by MRC TV called Lean Over. We've all seen the MSNBC Lean Forward commercials. Here's our take on them. Nobody can do a better job making Chris Matthews sound like an unhinged liberal partisan than Chris Matthews. I saw this earlier in the week, and I kind of got a kick out of it. See if you get one, too.
Well, I think we're right on MSNBC, first of all.
We let you hear from the craziest of the crazies.
If not as brutally, certainly as crazily.
Come at me, I'm Tarzan.
Don't come out here and pretend you care about old people. 70-year-old white people, I'll bet they voted overwhelmingly against Obama. They didn't even know why they did it. They just did it.
It has kind of a stoner quality.
Let's go back and do that.
It's not a mating call, it's the opposite.
Just a minute, let me do that over again. Say, hey gang, let's all go to B school. Going back to the original perfection of slaveholders and how perfect they were. Is it that kind of America they want to bring back, where there were no gays?
Of homophilia.
Where blacks were slaves. Don't just free the people, give them 40 acres and a mule. Mexicans were in Mexico. We used to call these guys and women, well, mostly guys, pigs back in the 60s. Pigs. If it isn't ethnic, and I'll just leave the possibility that it's not, I gotta believe it's ethnic with these people. It's the sense that the white race must rule. We're Americans, we white people out here in Texas, cul-de-sacs of whitedom. First of all, the right wing are crazy. The reason I'm asking this stupid question is, do they still count blacks as 3/5? Why would an African American want to identify with a group that's basically pro-states' rights? Well, is there any other evidence to justify why they keep calling him a bad man? Is Sarah Palin a poster girl for racism? Do you fear that if you got together with some other African Americans, these white guys might get scared of you? It's okay to be Indian American, but we got a problem with this black president. What's that about? I don't buy that they were smarter than politicians. I never did. I love politicians. I am so proud of the country to re-elect this president. He's never done anything wrong in his life. That's good rhetoric. The feeling most people get when they hear a Barack Obama speech, Mike, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I mean, I don't have that too often.
He doesn't have that too often, ladies and gentlemen. A little montage of Chris Matthews' wacky comments. I like that. I thought I'd share that with you. Uh, uh, let's see what else we got here. Still have the Tony Stewart story simmering a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. The people calling for Tony Stewart to be prosecuted. I just don't see it happening. I don't see any evidence in that video. I don't see how anybody could ever prove anything other than an accident. And I find it a little offensive, that and I don't mean to sound cold, ladies and gentlemen, but I just tell it like it is. There's only one person responsible for Kevin Ward Jr.'s death. That's Kevin Ward Jr. In fact, when you look at the video, it looks to me like Tony was trying to swerve to miss him at the last second. There was another car that was in front, and he stepped back to let that car go by, and then he comes down the track pretty quick, right before he gets hit by Tony. Hey, I'm not even a fan of I don't even like Tony Stewart, but after watching the video, I don't see how, to blame anybody other than the guy who got himself killed. And that's the fact of the matter. He got himself killed. And you want to run out on a track with race cars going around at 100 mile an hour, however fast they were going? Hey, take your chances, Chief. I find it a little offensive people saying that Tony Stewart should be prosecuted. There's a story here. I was going to do it. I'm not going to do it. They're talking about he could be prosecuted for manslaughter. No, he can't. The hell are you talking about? The dumbass ran out on the track in the middle of a bunch of cars going 100 miles an hour. Sorry, that's the fact. Lose your temper? Be a hothead? You're going to be consequences. Cost him his life. Sad. Don't get me wrong. I feel sorry for the kid. But the kid got himself killed. It's that simple. Moving on. What else we got here? Now we got Alberto Gonzalez, George Bush's ex-attorney general, saying pass immigration bill to find out how Obama will enforce it. Because that's the question. We're not going to pass no immigration bill. He's not going to enforce the law anyways. Gonzalez calling for amnesty, calling for the president, telling lawmakers to pass the bill, and then you'll find out how he's going to enforce it. Telling the president go ahead and pass executive amnesty if they won't play ball. George Bush, Attorney General. Yeah, nice pick, George. Yeah, I bet he did some great work for you, didn't he? Another story that popping up, Bo Bergdahl. Bo Bergdahl's platoon mates look for publishers to tell all book and movie. Daily Mail reports 6 platoon mates of Sergeant Bo Bergdahl are seeking publishers for their accounts of Bergdahl's disappearance and capture, one of which paints him as a premeditated deserter who put platoon mates' lives in danger. But they're questioning him, don't you know? They're asking him some questions. Just trying to, figure out what happened, if he got into the wrong cab. I'm talking about the government. They're asking Bo Bergdahl some questions. Maybe he got in the wrong cab. Since Bergdahl's controversial release in May, the six have appeared together in the media, angered by White House attempts to paint the soldier as a war hero and united in their belief that he is a deserter. Well, that is a war hero to him. Don't you guys get it? A deserter is a hero to Obama. Oh, he'd never come out and say that, but it's obvious that's how he feels. I mean, look. You don't think the Pentagon knew he was a deserter? You know, he's been gone for 5 years. Or no, I might have him confused with somebody else. Well, he was in captivity for quite some time. Let's put it that way, several years. When the president traded him, he knew he was a deserter. When he traded the 5 terrorist generals for one private deserter. That's what the president traded, and he knew it at the time. And still, and I'm sure there were people saying, "Hey, Chief, what are you doing? Wait a minute. This guy's not a hero there, Mr. President." Oh, yeah, he is. In my book, he is. And he tried to pass him off as one. We never leave anybody behind. Well, except Chris Stevens and Glenn Doherty, Sean Smith. You know, guys like that. We left them behind. Just saying. That's who this president is. He sees Bo Bergdahl as a hero. And that's knowing that he's a deserter. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only conclusion one can come to. I'm sitting here watching Fox News off my monitor. And, of course, I have it muted because I'm doing the show. And looks like Bill O'Reilly had... I wished I'd have heard that story, what he was just reporting, because it was a picture of Steven Seagal with his arms around Vladimir Putin. And the caption said it was from 2012. And most people don't know, Steven Seagal, he loves Putin. Well, you know, when it comes to presidents, I guess I can't blame him. You know, at least Putin's a tough guy. You know, maybe that's it. Maybe because you know how them tough guys like Steven Seagal are. You know, they respect, tough guys. But he loves old Putin. Yeah, you might want to be careful voting for Steven Seagal for governor out there in Arizona. I don't know if he loves communism as much as he loves Putin, but if you love a communist, no, not in America. Well, what was I thinking? I'm about going to wrap it up for us, ladies and gentlemen. Just about out of time. Coming to you from Clarksville, Indiana. This probably got split up into 2 shows because I lost my Wi-Fi connection for a minute and had to rebroadcast. So for those of you who got cut off, if you just went back in and look at the next broadcast, that'll be the other half of the show, which you've already figured that out because me telling you now won't help you figure it out. I know. Anyhow, we'll be back in the fort on Friday night. Looks like I'll be coming back tomorrow night. I think tomorrow's going to be my last day down here. And it should be my last day down here for a while. So that's kind of good. I think. We'll see.